Hey loves, welcome back. Today I have a 24-hour specific person manifestation success story for you. It's a personal one that I did myself. And so all you have to do is just duplicate and do the exact same things I did in this video or at that time, and you're gonna have the same level of success. So today is day 13 of our 14 days of love. So technically this is in the 14 days of love, but you could actually look back at this video at any point in time. If you want to manifest within 24 hours, just duplicate it again exactly as I did it, and you are going to receive the same exact results. There's no reason that you can't do the same exact thing. Because most of the time, what is it that we worry about with manifestation? It's time, right? Or feeling like we can't do something. But remember, in law of assumption, it's all about feeling as if you already have it. And in the same thing I talked about in my previous video about we're going to have this conviction as if we already have it. And that's your true power. That's what we want to get into right here and right now. Okay? And so I'll dive into it, and I'll include another success story of someone who basically also manifested within 24 hours. And so the main idea is, remember, your reality can change overnight, because why can't it? Anything telling you that it can't change overnight, it's like, well, why? Who is saying that your specific person can't show up? Again, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and this is the 14 days of love. So the whole point of this is that you are with your specific person for Valentine's Day. And so we have to make that happen. So as I mentioned, copy exactly what I'm about to tell you in this video, and you're going to have the same exact level of results, and do it with literally any sort of thing, any manifestation, literally, it doesn't have to be with a specific person. Now just switch it around in order to make it so. And so I'll start the story from the beginning. So at this time, I was manifesting someone who had a boyfriend. Okay, so she was not single. Think of the thought of, again, third parties, the circumstances, things like that were happening in my way. And this was a manifestation during the time. I was getting really frustrated, really worried, all the normal emotions that you're going to get while manifesting a specific person. And there's one night, because I always was reading Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, that one night I just remembered Neville Goddard talking about how he would go so deep into these meditations that he would just almost like forget about reality. And then he'd wake up and feel so in this conviction of whatever it is that he wanted, that he would then show up in quantum leap. So it was the first time I ever quantum leaped to another reality, okay? And so, but on the surface, you're like, this usually doesn't seem like this can happen, right? It seems like it's almost too good to be true. But what kind of helped me in this, and so right now, if you're feeling frustrated, worried, or angry, that's going to actually be good, because I used that to further push the conviction. So at this time, I remember sitting in my room and I was like, you know what? That's it. I was like, that's it. I'm not messing around anymore. This is done. I am closing my eyes and I'm going into meditation. And I told myself, I am not opening my eyes. I'm not leaving this meditation until I feel as if I truly am living the reality that I want. So it was with this specific person. So no third party, nothing in between, no circumstances, because I will tell you, things weren't going the greatest. And I guess everyone says that in their manifestation, but there were a bunch of circumstances. We weren't really in contact that much. We hadn't really gone on any dates or anything like that. Again, there was a third party. So basically, if there was such thing as a quantum leap, which there is, well, at the time I didn't really know for sure. I was like, if there's such thing as a quantum leap, this is going to be the reality, and this is going to be the quantum leap that must happen. So that's what I felt, because I had, again, and this shows cases as well, that you don't have to worry about anxiety or worry or fears or frustration. I had all of those, and I used them as fuel. So again, I went within my mind. And if you guys really want to know about the visualization process, literally my video yesterday was on this, but I went into my mind. I imagined the scene I wanted. But again, I went in with really intense conviction. I said, screw it. I'm literally not opening my eyes. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if I meditate all night. I am not opening my eyes until I feel as if this is truly my reality. Again, I refused. I was fueling this anger, well, I wasn't really angry. I guess more of like, I guess the best term would be maybe annoyance or frustration. Frustration is probably a really, really good answer. I used all of that to fuel this conviction that I was not going to open my eyes. So what I did, I imagined a scene that implied we were already together. And I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but it was a scene that implied we were already together. So the scene was, I don't remember exactly what it was because I was trying to specifically go into, I think it was something about them telling me something like, oh, I'm so happy we're together. Yeah, that's what it was. They were telling me on this date, I'm so happy we're together. Okay, so this implied no third party, no circumstances, we were together. And I used, as I mentioned in the previous video, again, I keep referring to it, but it's like the visualization is really important when you include all of your senses. Okay, so all of what I was seeing, what I was smelling, what I was tasting, what I was hearing, what I was feeling, all of that was together in this imaginative act, okay? And so I was, again, refusing to leave it until I felt as if it was real, to the point where my mind would keep wandering and I would bring it right back. Again, I wouldn't get frustrated. I would just guide it right back to where I wanted it to be, which was on this image of them telling me, I'm so glad we're together. And I just kept doing that. Again, I lost track of time. I didn't focus on time because time didn't mean anything. I knew for a fact I was not opening my eyes until this had actually occurred. Okay, I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what happens. I was going to sit in that emotion and that feeling and that assumption until it was truly real. And I sat there, I don't even know how long I had been sitting there. Seriously, I lost track of time entirely. But at the point when I was totally fulfilled, totally satisfied, it was almost completed within me to the point in which I almost no longer even desired it. I almost was just like, okay, because it was late at night. So I was like, okay, I just want to go to bed now. I feel happy. I feel fulfilled. I don't even care about this thing anymore, which I know sounds like a funny emotion, but I felt as if I had already achieved it. And when you feel as if you already achieve it, what else is there to do, right? There's nothing extra that you need to do if it feels like you already have it, right? Me and my specific person were already together. We were already in the perfect relationship. There was no third party. There was no circumstances. There was no long distance of no contact, right? And so all of this was what I was trying to encompass, okay? And so then I felt totally fulfilled, totally satisfied to even if my specific person had texted me at that time, I didn't even care to answer it. That's the level of conviction. And it's not that I didn't care about the manifestation anymore. It's that I no longer desired or was trying to go out and get that thing, okay? There's a huge, huge difference of it, okay? Because I still cared, I still knew I had it. This desire then was transferred from a state of desire into a state of satisfaction, okay? And so here's where, again, you're like, okay, Kyle, that's really cool what you did. Where's the results of what happened? So here's what happened. And again, so this showcases the power of how quickly it can occur. So the next day, so this was actually someone at one point I was working with, okay? So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but so I was working with them. And the next day, everything's going fine. Again, I almost, not that I forgot about what I did, of this conviction, of this really feeling in the sense, but I truly didn't, this was my reality now. So I didn't care if they were showing up to work. I didn't care about this or that because I was already living my reality of assuming and manifesting. I already had my specific person in my mind. And this conviction was so intense, I carried it it was in my mind, almost like I kept it in my pocket the whole day following this meditation. So the meditation happened at night and this was the next day. And then again, I worked with my specific person. So at the time, they come into work and they look kind of like almost like happier than normal. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Again, I was always focused on, I already have what I want, so there's no case. And what they told me, and this was absolutely crazy, and my mind was blown, and I was like, because this is the one of the first times I was ever like, that's crazy. Like, I cannot believe that just happened. How fast it was, how quick, how little effort I really did. I didn't do anything. I literally didn't do anything. Like, I did this conviction, this meditation. But the next day, so they basically drop this hint, or they told me. So apparently, the next day, I completely manifested the third party away. But that's why they're so happy. And that's another showcase why your specific person wants to be with you. You are this loving and abundant relationship. They want to be with you. And so actually they're kind of happy, but kind of like looking weird because you don't really want to be happy about that. They told me they had totally broke up with their specific person. So again, that ceased to exist the next day. And I'll tell you, this was kind of an idea that was within my mind, a limiting belief that I constantly had every single almost step of the way. And so the next day, and again, my mind was blown. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, already, that is a crazy manifestation. And then though, as time goes on, then they start dropping hints. They ask if we can hang out and we can meet up. So think of that difference all in one day, that just with the conviction going into this visualization, having this commitment. I didn't even not that I didn't want it at that time, but at that point I was so fulfilled. It was blowing my mind of how awesome manifestation was, but it felt so easy and so effortless. And of course, why wouldn't they do this? That was kind of my feelings when they were showing up the next day, telling me all this stuff, asking me on a date, telling me they're no longer with the third party, acting all happy about it. And that's that's the main effect that I want you to get at. That it's because normally we're like, oh, but third parties, this and this, free will. And I made videos about free will. This is your reality. Everyone and everything. I want to help you get to your specific person, and everyone and everything does as well, including third parties. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's something we don't want to view third parties in a negative or bad way. We want to keep it with a very positive and abundant feeling. Okay, and so that was, again, the next day, quantum leaped out of this reality because they were telling me exactly what was happening with with the third party. So the specific person was telling me all this stuff of how they didn't like the relationship. Basically, all of this stuff had happened behind the scenes just by shifting into this idea and this perspective the night before. And so technically, I wouldn't even say it was less than 24 hours. This manifestation was literally less than 24 hours. And I went from literally all these circumstances, third party, weren't in contact. We'd never gone on a date before that point, right? And then I didn't do literally anything. And I know it's the conviction or the change was all within. Okay. And this was, again, one of the first times my mind was blown with this concept. And I have other kind of stories. So if you guys want to hear more stories about this, definitely let me know. But that was a time my mind was absolutely, completely blown away by this idea. And I truly knew everything is available to you. Your manifestations are already here, and you can have it right here and right now. And so now, just as a quick extra thing, because you guys heard my success story, but I have another person who just followed everything I talk about in my video. So you could follow this video, and it's actually from my Instagram. So it's even less information than I'm giving right now because it has to be quicker content. But I'm going to put it up on the screen. And so this is what the person said. They said, I started following you and your recommendations, and he contacted me yesterday and we went on a date. It all happened in less than 24 hours. Okay. So if I am showcasing you guys how to do it, and my followers are doing it just by literally, this person did it just by literally following and watching 1-minute snippets of the stuff I talk about, then you watching this video, why can't you also manifest your specific person? I'll give you a little hint. In 24 hours, you absolutely can. It just depends on the level of conviction that you are going to have with the change. Because remember, it's all about the changes that we are kind of seeking or experiencing internally. And I'm sure if we went to this person's circumstances, I'm sure they had just as many as everyone else. I even told you the circumstances I was under before I manifested my specific person in 24 hours. And it's absolutely crazy, but it's really not that crazy if you think about it, because thinking of all of your manifestations being alive within you right here and right now, then why wouldn't it be obvious that you're with your specific person, right? That it makes the most sense. It just is natural. It's automatic. It's easy. Like, really, why do you think that you would not be able to manifest your specific person in 24 hours? And so truly, and implement, go through exactly what I mentioned, and you're going to be this next success story that's on my screen that's like, oh my gosh, this happened in 24 hours, 12 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, maybe right now in this video, you quantum leap to your specific person, because there's nothing without limit, and it only depends on what our mind is thinking. So honestly, before this point in which I jumped into this conviction, I said, I refuse to open my eyes if I'm not in that reality. That was the level of conviction to kind of push me into the belief of knowing that I could do it. Because if I had no other choice, that I have to jump into this reality, then that's the reality that has to come. It's all has to do with conviction, our belief, because truly, if you don't believe it can happen, it can't happen. And it's okay if we didn't believe it moments ago, but you can jump into this belief and manifest and create the exact reality that you want right here and right now. Because honestly, who's saying you can't? I showed you my own success story. I showed you this person's success story as well. And there are countless others. You guys have seen other success stories. Why? Seriously. I know you believe it. I know that you can manifest in 24 hours. So I can't wait to see your success story in doing so. Remember as well, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below in the comment section. If you did want to send me a personal question or comment, head over to KyleAugustCoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally. Again, remember to comment that down below if I am going to manifest my specific person overnight, or my specific person wants to be with me right now, whatever conviction, whatever's going to help you feel into that. And then also remember, so tomorrow for Valentine's Day, I'm doing a live for all of my members. So I think I'm going to do it at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know if that's a good time for you guys, and I'll kind of comment, or I'll change it depending on if people are like, oh, I can't make it. So 1 p.m. Eastern time, all my members, we're going to have a Valentine's Day special, diving into the feeling, getting really, really into the assumption that you're already with your specific person. So if you don't manifest with this 24 hours right now, which I know you will, you can always hop into the members and actually manifest in 24 hours, and then hop in tomorrow during Valentine's Day. So click become a member, and then tell us your awesome, amazing success stories, because you don't have to spend Valentine's Day worrying, having fears. Spend it with me and everyone else in the member community. Everyone's manifesting their specific person. So it's so fun. It's so supportive. You are going to have a blast. I'm going to be answering every single question that you have. I'm so excited to see you tomorrow, but I'm so excited to see your results in this 24-hour manifestation success that you're going to do as well. Okay, so make sure to comment your success down below in 24 hours when you get it, so then I can include you in another video of this 24-hour success, so you can help other people manifest. So basically, and again, I'm manifesting 10,000 success stories in my members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hop in below, and that intention can absolutely change the whole game. So seriously, just basically let me manifest it for you. But thanks again so much for stopping by today. Leave a like on this video if you really, really loved it, and know that you are going to be with your specific person in 24 hours. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow in the Valentine's Day video, and then in my live as well at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So thanks again so much, and I'll see you next time.